Morning, meat sex. Right, start with the jar of names as I always do. It's to pick a name, we'll get this one. So this video is for everyone, including but not excluded to Sam Fro. Right, so let's talk some more about Overlord, because we've got some big dropping news and stuff. I need to change this page. There's so much to talk about today, so let's get into it and stop with dawdling. So, this is... what it's going to be called now is Waiting for Overlord Fellowship of Evil, because it's not Overlord 3, which I did mention at the end of the last episode. It's Overlord Fellowship of Evil. It's got a new proper name now, so I thought I'll change this as well to for Waiting For. Right, okay, because that's what we're doing, pretty much. And yeah, I'm going to be doing a breakdown of the new trailer that was dropped. I'm going to call it the reveal trailer, and the dev blog one as well, and just break it down. And so look at some of the pictures that I took. I took some screenshots, so we'll have a look at them. Right, so it does say, continue what it's saying, whether it's the next on Overlord, so it does mean it is canon. Right, the first concern I've got, art style. So obviously looking at this, it's similar to the Overlord Dark Legend, where it's more of an arty style, not a proper cutscene. Which hopefully it's not that. I want some proper cutscenes. I'm fine with both, but I do want some proper cutscenes as well. I like to see the cutscenes. So hopefully it's not all like this sort of stop motion-esque style art scene for the cutscenes, but we'll find out. They are pretty pretty though. I mean, looking at the sheep right now and the butterfly, it's lovely. And the little fisherman as well, fishing. What else have we got? And obviously it says what happens about Overlord 2. The Overlord 2, the Overlord from Overlord 2 is gone, which we knew anyway. And it says now that good is now more prominent than evil, and obviously there's got to be a balance, as we learned from the end of 2 with your mother Rose, where she says it can't be one without the other, or something like that. You know, the whole sort of good and evil situation. So now evil is in abundance. So good is in abundance, evil is a bit lower down. So we need a big evil force to come back, and that is the setting, which is good. What else have we got? If we look at one of the next pictures, you can see there's a man with his apple, and he's drinking his apple cider. There's actually a sign that said Nordberg and Somervale. And obviously Nordberg is from second game, Overlord 2. So that might be back, or this might be just a reference. And there's Somervale as well. Hopefully we'll see what Somervale is. Or maybe it's from Overlord Dark Legend. I've never played that one yet, so it might be from there, but I don't think it is. I think that's something else, which escapes me right now. Yep, so we're moving on. So they're looking for a new leader. Got some nice pictures here of them walking around the different environments, like a forest, a mountain, lava place, and obviously there's a sea bit as well, which I assume they're on the boat, so I can't quite tell. Yep, and then they find something in like a cavern, which is called the Big Book of Evil, which I'm guessing has like loads of different evil spells and just stuff like that for evil people. Or sorry, the Big Book of Evil. It's not of evil. I'm looking here. I'm trying to look at the picture of it. I can actually work out what some of these things are. I can't quite see what they are. I think I've got some close-ups of the happens, where it says like a cauldron with a skeleton and some heart or some eyes and stuff, and obviously it raises this thing, which it looks like an Overlord. Right, but from there we know that they're looking for dead people so they can bring them back to life, and they're called it's basically necromancy, from what I could find out. And it is the wording they use, which is a very nice word. He says candidates. Now, what are candidates? They are things which are going to be perhaps take the job. Like say you've got a job and you've got 4 candidates, only one will get the job. So I'll talk more about this later, but it does sound like, well, I will talk about it later, so I've got a topic that I'm going to talk about that focused on it anyway. Yeah, and now we get to finally find out who these 4 sort of dark heroes are, or dark dead people that are now alive. We've got Inferna, who is the guy, the guy is the girl, we know now. In one of the pictures there's a hint of a bosom, so it's obviously a lady, and it has been confirmed on Twitter as well by now. This is basically the warrior class, I'm guessing. She was killed by rock trolls, and like I said, she's female. Yeah, her prowess seems to be with fire. Obviously, name Inferna, so I'm guessing that's true to the words there. But yeah, seems pretty cool. And this is the one that had all the expensive-looking armour, which my theory was that was going to be the main Overlord, but it's not that. In truth be told, none of these are Overlords yet. And then the next one is someone who is she's a necromancer. It's another female character, and she's called Malady, or as I like to call her, Malady, because if you look at how it's spelled. Yes, she... Basically, these are all dead, because obviously they've got to be revived again. Which to me sounds like a really silly plan. You're going to revive the people that have already failed and bring them back to life. And to be fair, this one here, Malady, she seems to be the best one, because she sacrificed herself for an evil cause. Like, she literally killed herself so she can cause a lot of evil damage. So I personally think she is the best candidate, but not probably the person I would play. But yeah, she's obviously died because she wanted to make a curse, and she sacrificed herself for it, and she's like the necromancer of the team. Next up, we've got a dwarf, which was a dwarf. We did say she was a dwarf. He was a dwarf, sorry. It is Hakon. And he has a dwarf rogue, so he's obviously going to be up the green class if you think about it that way. And he dual wields, and his mini is a dwarf. What do you expect? And then we've got someone who I think it might be my favourite button. I'm not sure yet. It is a dark elf. He's a prince. Is it Creosis? No, Creos it is. And basically, the rogue Hakon, the dwarf, and Prince Krios killed each other, which I think is very good. And it's just take this moment to think about the story elements of this. You've got 4 people. Well, no, we'll talk about that one later. But we've got these 2 people characters here. They've been revived and they're going to be working together. They killed each other. Think about the dialogue that's going to be happening between them. Obviously, I know in the first and second game they were both silent protagonists. I'm not sure if these are going to be, but even with basic stares and just, without speech, you can still portray these 2 characters as hating each other or have some sort of spiteful between each other. There is something later on as well which will hint towards a rivalry between the 4 characters. But yeah, just imagine how much story elements are going to happen because of that. Like, hopefully we're going to see that, and that's not just going to be passed over. Because these guys killed each other. Now they're back to life. Are they going to try and kill each other again? It's interesting to find out that. What else we got here? But that's about it. Now we go on to sort of the gameplay pictures. After you see some sort of more pictures of the sort of like the revival chamber. We close up with Gnarl. Now we get onto some gameplay pictures. Right, so we're looking at these things that I called the points. It's at the top of the screen, top of the names and everything. Maybe it's not points. Maybe it's gold. And maybe the points are gold. Like gold is the points. I'm not sure, but just have a little look at that I've seen. We'll also see some minions in this picture. We can see 2 of them. You can see a blue and a green. The green looks very green. The one complaint I've got about this game so far is it looks like it's too much happening on screen at once. This is not a good example. This is quite okay, but there's the one obviously when there's loads of action. It looks like it's quite a bit full on and too much going on. And obviously the green looks a bit bright, so maybe that will contribute to that as well. But just look at these minions. Yeah, they look all right. They look like normal green minions and normal blue minions. Height-wise, they look about the same size as the dwarf. So they look slightly larger than what they were in the last game. But obviously, if they've changed the dynamics of the game, obviously they have to make them a bit bigger so you can see them more. But yeah, look, they don't have many minions. If you look at actually how many minions each of them have got, they don't seem to have many. So it looks like maybe they won't be as in abundance as they were, or maybe in single player they will be, but in multiplayer they won't. But it's interesting, at least they're still in there. And you can see here there's some sort of gameplay mechanics where you're dodging the fireballs by moving side to side. And you can see some sort of... Oh no, this one is different. This is a bit ahead of my time, actually. Yeah, this one here... Oh yeah, it's because I couldn't get the picture, I remember, yeah. You can sort of see some of the magical powers of some. There's like an ice shot for Prince Krios. And then there's the fire burst for Igniter. So obviously the prowess with different magical powers and stuff goes with that. Right, so the next one, this is the one I wanted to see. Dead. Oh yes, you can sort of see on that magical one as well, there's a little skull in one of the corners, so that must mean that character is dead. So that's what happens when you die. The next one we can see is they're running away from something called the Golden, which we'll find out later because I didn't really mention it here. But yeah, it's basically these plants are sort of taking over the evil world. And there's like a timer, so there must be like a race to get away from it. Maybe it's approaching them and they have to get away from it before they die. And it says at +10 on Prince Krios. Maybe that's because he's in the lead. Maybe that's because it's adding 10 points to the time. I'm not sure, but it's just a gameplay thing that I wanted to look at. Next picture, there's rain. There's a rainy place, or if it's dynamic weather. I don't think it's dynamic weather. I think it'll probably just be a rainy place. What else we got? Something else that Niall said. He says that he's putting these 4 candidates through the Trials of Evil, TM, which stands for trademark. Maybe I'm thinking that they said later on that there's going to be some sort of conflict between all 4 of them, because of course that can only be one Overlord. So maybe these are going to be candidates for which one's going to be the next Overlord. Like they're going to fully take the place as the Overlord title. So maybe that's going to be some competition between all 4 of you. So maybe that's what the Trials of Evil is for, is to weed them down to find out which one's going to be the best one. But we'll talk about that later. And you can see in this picture as well, there's another magical spell. It's the Purple Shot, which I think is Malady. Or Malady. I like to call her Malady. Or Malady. What else we got? Yeah, this is the best part of the screen. It's not got the information about the game. It's got the bit. Well, it's got the bit of information about the game. It's not got like the details of it. No, it is the details. What am I trying to say? It's not the gameplay features. It's the actual features of the actual thing of the game. Because if you see, it's got the full name. Invasion begins 2015, so it means it should be out this year, judging from what that says. And it says you can pre-order it now. I looked at the link. You can get it on Steam. Hopefully there'll be some pre-order bonuses. I would love a little minion statue if you're listening, Codemasters. Love a little minion statue. Even if it's a keyring. I would love... Oh, that'd be nice. Oh, a little keyring. Anyway, yeah, so that's good. I'll talk about the website as well later because there's some information on there as well, which I'll talk about. Where am I? Pre-order now. Yeah, the best bit of information is the fact it's for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Yes! I'm over the moon. It's not for the tablet. It's for a proper console. Beautiful. So I'm happy about that, which is why I'm actually doing this and not stopping it. Because if it was a tablet, I was going to stop all this. I wasn't even going to bother waiting on Overlord. Fellowship of the Evil. Right, okay, so moving on. I'm also going to do the devlog now. The dev diary, not devlog. Dev diary 1. What is the Fellowship of Evil? Right. So where am I on my list? Okay. So let's look at some of the pictures. Right. So this is a picture here. It's obviously of a computer with someone working on it. This is the golden, which we'll talk about later. Like I said, it's trying to encroach on the evil lands, and it looks like in this scene here in particular, he's moved the Overlord guy, or I think they're called ghouls. I'm not sure we got to that part yet, but they're called ghouls, nether ghouls. They're moving towards it, and it's disappearing. So maybe you get the power to like decrease it, like the fog of war sort of thing. You've got to push it back and reclaim the land, which obviously will play a big part of the story. Hopefully that'll be true. And obviously sometimes they do approach you as well, like that timed thing we saw earlier. So maybe that's a gameplay feature, maybe not. Maybe it's a story thing, we don't know. Right, what's next? I can't find my list. There's so much on this list, I don't know where I am. Right, yes. Try and find a picture so I can find that. There is the story elements in the game, whereas obviously it's the same sort of humorous story, it's the same writer, so hopefully the story will be perfect. I like the story. People have been saying in the comments of the trailer that they don't like the story of the Overlord, but I love the story of the Overlord. So rich, not only rich, but there's so much potential there, which is amazing. But yeah, I want to talk about this picture here. This is a spell that Prince Kryos used. It's like a really cool ice move. I love that. That's one of the reasons why I might use him, because that is amazing. I love ice in video games, and that looks fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Right, yes, now I want to talk about some of the things here. Now, I'm going to have to a bit of editing here, because I don't know whereabouts these pictures are. But I wanted to show you some of these pictures behind the actual devs that are talking. This one here behind Carl Johnson, the chief design minion. He's a minion. You can see behind him is like a minion statue with like lava pouring out of his mouth. This must be part of like the new domain, or like your new tower, so to speak, which looks amazing. Now we'll have to quickly try and find the others. Behind Rhianna Pratchett, the Mistress of Scrolls. I'm not sure what this is. It just looks like more of the design of the towers, like the steps with the sort of like this golden pathways at the side. Some buildings in the background, maybe, and like a big central platform as well. In one picture, I'm not sure where it is. There is something that's spinning around behind the head of the lady. So I'm not sure where that would be. Let's quickly look and see if we can find the rest of them. Ian Palmer, Chief Art Minion. This is it. This is where the spinny thing is behind us. Maybe that's like the magic room. I'm not sure, but looks like it's quite cool. Is there any more? Yep, there's one more with, I'm not sure what this guy's name is, but he's one of the guys on the working on the team. There is actually here the blue minion that's running on something to make the treadmill run, and it's like a triangle, an arrow at the bottom as well, so maybe it's like the forge, which is maybe where that minion statue was with the lava pouring out of its face. So yeah, that's the last one. Right, 1 second. They also talk about in the video they were talking about combat focus. Like this game is now more combat focused, which is hopefully we'll see how that works out. I mean, the combat does look quite fun. It looks very interesting. Right, and I said about the new base. Right, so I saw some landscapes here of some new places. We've got some sort of green forest. I thought maybe this was going to be like the green hive bit in your domain, but it might just be a green forest where some people live or something. I'm not sure. Maybe they were dark elves. I don't know. I've also got here another picture which is like a cave sort of thing. There's some sort of shiny thing in the distance, and there's a Overlord or Neverghoul, should we say, down there. It's used to say Neverghoul. And we've got here, which this is. There's another picture of this, which is a better picture later on. But this is sort of like a. I'm guessing the Netherworld, or the Deep Nether as it's called. But there's a better picture of this later, so I'll talk about it then. And this one's quite interesting. I didn't see this one the first time I watched the trailer. It is what appears to be some sort of tombs, and it seems to be like the first point where they revived. Well, we presume they were performing the ritual to revive the Neverghouls. But yeah, there's 4 statues. There seems to be some sort of Overlord style decor, and some shiny floors as well. So maybe these are the statues of those fallen warriors. I'm not sure. One does seem to be slightly smaller than the rest, so maybe that's the dwarf. Maybe that's the Hakon or something, whatever his name is. Right, okay, so moving on. Right, so here, obviously it's co-op still. We knew that anyway. There's a B button here. I'm not sure if this B button is to interact with something or if it's a finisher. Probably interacting, so it's probably not going to be a finisher, which would be quite good. And they talk about it not being Overlord 3. Like they decided not to put 3 in the title, which I think is a good move. If you put 3 in the title, I think more people would be expecting a bet like the normal original Overlord. Because a lot of people are actually hating on this game because it's not like the originals. But I'm actually really excited for it. I'm actually taking it in full stride. I'm really excited for it. Like, you know, you could have had this or nothing. And I'm quite excited for this. I think this is going to be really good. Only if the story's really good, like the single player story, like without, like I know you can play it without co-op, which I think is the next thing. No, it's not. It's later on. But you can play this without co-op, which I think is a good move. So I might play it first single player, which I hopefully it will still be as good without everybody else, but we'll find out. So we actually do talk about that in a minute. So yeah, we'll do that. Right, so that's that. Test. I'm not sure what the test is. Oh yeah, not 3 because I wanted to test it. Yeah, but like I said, this is canon, so it's good. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Right, now this is something I wanted to see. There's some new minions. There's a green, there's 2 greens, or maybe 2 greens, maybe a green and an ogre. Doesn't look like a minion over there with the hammer. I'm not sure, but it's got a hammer, so maybe that's a forge worker. And it's like some sort of architect, maybe. No. Yes, a designer, maybe. There's the blue. There's the green there with the top hat and some sort of a. Oh no, that's. I thought it was a pair of compass he had, but I think that's his spikes on his arm. But he's all decked out with all these little things. So maybe that's a hint to say you can decorate every single minion now, not just the browns. But I can't see how that would work. And then there's a new red. Because apparently, I'm not sure where this is. I think. Oh no, yeah, this was one of the tweets. So I have to get that down in a minute as well. Yeah, because apparently Giblet's not in here anymore. Apparently there's a new Forge Master, and maybe that's him there, the red guy, which would make sense because reds are the ones that power the forge. But yeah, there he is. Hopefully that means you can decorate them all. What else have we got? Now we've got some designs as well I need to talk about, but I want to see what's on my list. New minions. Yes. So I've got some pictures here as well. Some like designs of that minion statue with the lava pouring out. You can still see there, which I've designed. And there's also, it seems to be like some sort of kitchen or a hall with all these meats for all the minions. It's like giant bears or rats or whatever they are, where they're cooking them on a treadmill. So maybe that's where the blue was standing on earlier. Maybe it was the cooking pits, where they're cooking food for the minions. But interesting. And there's also some sort of ruins, which look quite interesting. And this is actually called the Neverdeep. It's part of... Hold on, cup of tea. It's part of the Netherworld, so maybe it's just it's like deeper down into the depths of the earth, like more lava, I guess. But it looks pretty interesting, and especially with these ruins, maybe it's things like past. Obviously, these are from like ages ago, where overlords did used to live down here, and now you as a Neverghoul are going to start to rebuild the Overlord Empire, or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. And what else have we got? Right, so yeah, I talked about earlier with the golden. It's the thing that's sort of taking over the world. It's all good and stuff. You can see some pictures here of some plants and some crystals, and they all look lovely and happy. And this one here with a little deer as well, which I think was quite fun. Yeah, it's just basically always taking over the world. There's a nice little scene here of some mushrooms and like a little idyllic lake and a Neverghoul, which looks like a Uniter. And then we see here that this golden thing destroys everything that's evil in its path, and it looks like it's corrupting the minions as well, like turning them into good creatures. Even though he does look a very scary minion still. Anyway, moving on. Right, this one is a really cool one. They look like minion houses. There's like a little ice thing for the blues. And I'm not sure if these are browns. We'll have a quick look. I think they are browns where they've got the armour on, but it's like a little brown house as well. They're all cool. So I'm hoping you can actually like individual houses for certain minions. Like you can actually customise these and put them places and like design your minion barracks and stuff. That will be a nice feature to have, but I'm not sure if that will be true. And here they are, all the Neverghouls. Here they are, what am I saying? Apparently these are sub-lieutenants. I'm not sure what sub-lieutenants are. The way he said it is he said the sub-lieutenants to Gnarl. So does that mean they're above him and they're like he's masters, but he's lower down masters than an overlord? Or are these below Gnarl and Gnarl's commanding? I don't think Gnarl's commanding them. No, that can't be right. No, yes, they must be just above him, but still lower than overlord, which is what we're going to say. And like I said, there can only be one overlord, so maybe all 4 of these people are going to be fighting for the domination of the overlord. So maybe that'll be things. And they did say this is a test, so maybe if they are things in the future. Or the way he said it, he said this is a test, and they're going to see where it takes them down the road. So maybe there will be more if this hopefully does some sort of success, and there'll be more of these, and there'll be actually a proper overlord where there'll be an overlord. I'm not sure about the gameplay style, but maybe there'll be a proper overlord where one of these maybe got victorious, or maybe they all die and there's another guy that comes out. We'll see. But it doesn't look like the original overlord from Overlord Raising Hell is coming back yet. That must be a certain thing from this that I can't see. I can't see him anywhere. It doesn't really seem like he will be coming. And like I said, these are called the Neverghouls. Right. That's what else I've got to say. I think, yeah. So I just got this picture here of like it's sort of like it looks like Spree, but it might not be Spree. It might be that Summer Vale we saw. But I just wanted to look at that wall. That is a nice wall. That is a nice looking wall. Yeah. Right. Now this looks like the forge where you got that like the minion statues with the lava pouring down, which looks like the triangle bit as well. So that might be where we saw that in another picture as well. It doesn't seem to be anything else, but this must be the forge. It looks like a big area as well, so it looks like the deep nether is going to be very big. And here's that statue there with the lava falling down, which we saw the designs for and behind one of the developers. And there's one of the developers there, which I've seen already in mind. Right, this is interesting. This is very quick in the video. You might have missed it. There's a little logo that comes on the screen. It says Loot, Ransack, Steal, and Plunder. This must be one of the modes, online modes, where you try and get the most money. I'm guessing that's what it would be. I can't see what else it would be. Maybe it's one of the game modes. I'm not sure. Yep, and this is a picture here. This is something really cool. This is where they're obviously playing. It's I think it's Miss Pratchett or Mrs. Pratchett, I'm not sure. And it might be Mark Silk, I'm not sure. Can't really tell from behind. Obviously playing on Xbox. But look in the corner. There's an Overlord helmet. How cool is that? That is some fancy little artwork there. Cool. Right, what else we got? Yes, so that's it. That's it for all that stuff. So now what I want to do is going to read off the description on the actual online shop thingy, where the online website, because I want to read this off and go through it as we talk along. Right, so game overview. Step into the warped fantasy world of Overlord Fellowship of Evil, the dark and twisted action RPG, so it's an action RPG, filled with the series' signature black humour, penned by award-winning original Overlord scriptwriter Rihanna Pratchett. Overlord Fellowship of Evil delves on an epic new quest featuring 4 Nethergals. I was going to say Nazguls then. Oh, it's like that, isn't it? Undead servants of the dark arts, resurrected in the absence of a true overlord, to bring evil back to the world overrun by forces of good. Assisting gamers once again are the mighty, mechanical and occasionally moronic minions, ready to unleash their charming, chaotic brand of destruction and led by Gnarl, the wise old master, voiced, as before, by actor Mark Silk, because Mark Silk is back, we got that right. Players collect loot, loving that, and develop their characters as they embark on a... Well, hold on. Develop their characters, which is good. It means you can develop your characters like an RPG style. Hopefully, maybe skill trees, maybe not. It'd be cool if there was. In a single player co-op, well, I'll see if I can get this right word. Embark on a procedurally generated adventure in single player with co-op or to 3 friends in local. So we got that right, local co-op and online single screen co-op, which is good. Now, procedurally generated, which means they are randomly generated. They are not set manually by the developers. They generally develop themselves. So that is cool. That means each adventure you can have is going to be different to everybody else's adventure, which is amazing. That's the thing. See, well, you wouldn't have got that if you didn't read this page. We did now, and now you know. The more you know. What else we got? Filled with fun combat and twisted fantasy tales, Overlord Fellowship of Evil invites players to delve into an action RPG where it's good to be bad, but it's great to be evil. Overlord is the only series that actively encourages players to have fun, being the embodiment of evil, destroying all that is good in a subversive, comedic manner. Fellowship of Evil captures the essence and adds in 4-way chaotic co-op, where gamers can even turn on each other in their quest to become the ultimate anti-hero. So friendly fire is on, apparently. Evil always finds a way. Sometimes it just needs a little nudge. Right, and then we've also got key features, series signature... My voice is dying. Key features, series signature, dark, mischievous humour. Kick a minion for pretending to be Gandalf. If they do that, that's like a mini... not a cutscene, mini... animation they do when you're not playing. That would be amazing. Like they stand on a bridge or something and just do stuff. That would be amazing. Destroying a troll couple who have been making minion soup in the Overlord's helmet. Rihanna Pratchett returns with a twisted and hilarious tale of evil, chaos, minions, and the burning desire to destroy all things good. Sorry, I have to look away from the microphone, so if I sound a bit distant, that's why. In fact, if I do this, there we go. Did it work? It did, sort of. Yes, it did. Develop your minion champions. They're back. Our cruel critters return. Call upon your minions in battle and build them into mighty champions as you do destructive bidding for the master. Yes, so it looks like you can customize your minions, which is a-okay by me. Invade, smite, loot. Ooh. Now this is cool. This might be a hint about what the game is actually like. Work your way through the Netherworld and unleash hell on the world above. Trample the weak under your evil-sized hens with full and satisfying combat, combining unique abilities and melee attacks to dominate all who stand before you. Share, loot, or steal the spoils. How far you are willing to go on your quest is the ultimate anti-hero. So good. It looks like you'll be starting off in the Netherworld and sort of taking it back and then going into the world to take the fight to them sort of thing, which is good. 4 times the players, 4 times the fun. Evil has a new face, well, 4 faces actually, but who wears the evilest? Eviler? You decide. Pick from any of the 4 distinct Nethergald characters and with unique abilities, play as a team or screw each other over. Evil never played by the rules. Yes, so you get to choose, obviously, choose who you're going to be. Each goes on different abilities and stuff like that. Some pictures as well, which aren't very new, so I won't put them in. But yeah, that looks interesting. Especially the thing about taking over the Netherworld and going back out into the real world. That sounds like a very nice, good thing to do. Like you're slowly taking the world back. Right, that's that done. Let's go and look on Twitter then quickly. Sorry this is so lengthy, but there's so much to talk about. It's 3 new things today, sort of. Right, okay, so what have we got? Gnarl posted a picture. It's a picture where it's the picture we saw earlier in the trailer where he says this is home. So this must be where this is obviously in the Netherworld. It looks like it might be the entrance to the Netherworld because there's the big hole of sunlight at the top. Right, and he also said something else. There's 2 things he tweeted. There's one where someone asked about will you be able to customise yourself, and he says you can customise yourself with hats, weapons, minions, and more. So you can customise your helmet, your weapons, your minions, so I guess you can customise your minions, obviously, and more, which hopefully would be your tower, or your respective towers. 4 towers. Cool. But that's what the second game would be called, 4 towers, or Dark Towers. And then the third one will be Return of the Overlord. Ah, they got to do that. Sorry. Right, and there was something else I wanted to say as well. I'm just going to find it. Okay, I can't seem to find that other tweet about the minion name for the Forge Master now, but oh well. Right, so I think that's that now. I am now going to rest my voice because my voice is gone after this lengthy video. But yeah, now we finally know it's not for it is for consoles, not for tablets. I am so happy. I'll do these more if there's any more trailers or stuff that I feel like I need to do it for. Obviously, I won't do it for everything, just a few things, because obviously I'm doing this because Overlord's a big part of my channel. And obviously when this comes out, I'll be doing it, so hopefully it might be later this year. If just for those of you that are interested, if I do it, I might be doing a single player first, and then if I ever get a chance, I'll come online and do some online videos as well, just to see what it's like, because obviously I can do it, because it's CodeMasters, and they allow you to do it. But yes, I'm excited. First off, I was a little bit upset, like I said, it was a bit disappointed, I didn't do what I wanted, but then it sort of grew on me, and I think I'll actually like it when I get my hands on it, but like I said, before you play it, you have no idea. You can only have speculations. Now, when I get my hands on it, I'll know for certain if I like it or not. But I think I will. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. And, you know, I quite liked All for One, and it seems similar to that. So hopefully it'll be nice. All right, then. I'm going to go. See you later, Make Sacks. If you want to watch the dev blog, you can click the moving picture on the left-hand side. If you want to watch the new trailer, you can click the one on the right-hand side. Or you can watch Let's Play Overlord Raising Hell, the one I did, which is in the bottom left. And you can watch Overlord 2 as well, which I did if you want to catch up on the story, which is in the bottom right. Very well. If you want to subscribe, I'll be doing Dark Legend. I said I will be doing some videos about this game as well when it comes out, so hopefully that'll be good. Right, farewell, goodbye. I'm going now. My voice is gone. Bye, Meat Sacks.